Hello everyone, I'm back with another video, and in today's video we have an HP gaming laptop. This is an HP Gaming Victus model. The exact model is an 15-FB1013dx. That information can be found on the bottom sticker on the bottom of the laptop or inside the BIOS. If you want to go to the BIOS, you pretty much have to power it on, and you want to tap on F10, and it should take you to the BIOS. And that's where you can find the exact model for your laptop. As you can see right over here, the model for this one says HP Victus 15-FB1 series. That means 1000 series. But the exact model will be on the bottom sticker. Right? And this one does come with an 8 gig RAM. And we are going to be doing a RAM upgrade on this one. I'm going to show you guys how to do the RAM upgrade demonstration. We have upgraded this laptop up to 32 gig with no problem. I made a short video to check your maximum RAM capacity for your laptop. I'll leave that link in the video description in case you want to purchase yours. And I'll also leave the link for the tool that I'll be using for this video. With all that said, first thing first, you want to power off the laptop. Don't worry about you backing up your files, everything like that. Everything's going to be left the way that you had it before. It's just pretty much plug and play. The RAM speed, everything will be set automatically by the BIOS. So you don't have to do any configuration. Sometimes people say, okay, I bought a RAM at 3200 hertz, but it's running at 244. That's normal. The more RAM capacity you add, the slower it will run the speed. That's how the laptops are configured too. It's not like on a PC, you can go to the BIOS and turn on the XMP option, which you can manually set the RAM speed. On this laptop, you cannot do that. So pretty much the BIOS will decide at what speed the RAM will run. All right, with all that said, let's go ahead and open it up. First thing first, turn it off, power it off, flip it upside down. Down here, we're going to see a whole bunch of screws. There are two types of screws, or I believe they're all the same. We're going to find out. We're going to remove the 4 screws in the front and 3 screws at the back. To do so, we need an opening tool. I'll be using a screwdriver set from iFixit. And these are, I purchased myself. We're going to be using a Phillips number 10. Let me see. Yeah. Phillips number 0. And for the opening tools, if you get a Pro set, they will include you with tweezers and some opening tools. If not, grab a metallic guitar pick. These are really suitable to opening cases and covers. So with these two on hand, we're going to get it started. First thing first, let's go ahead and remove one screw in the front corner. That's a short one, and one from the back. I believe they're all the same side, yeah. So all the screws are the same side. Go ahead and remove all the screws and keep them in a single pile. Also, if you guys like my videos, if you find my videos helpful and helping you guys out, you can support the channel by clicking the like and subscribe. I'll greatly appreciate it. It helps and motivates me to make more videos, take requests, and answer your questions in the comment area. Appreciate that. But once we remove all the screws, next what you want to do, you want to grab the laptop from the front end always, because the front end there's not much electronics in here. So you want to stick the guitar pick between the palm rest and the bottom cover. You just want to jam it right in there, just like that. About 1 or 2 millimeters, and then you just want to twist and you want to hear those big click sounds. Those are the clips are getting loose. Don't worry about it. You're not breaking anything. Sometimes, depending the age of the laptop, if the case is made out of plastic, it will dry out. So sometimes when you open it up, tiny clips will break because of the overtime usage and heat. That's no problem because the screw do most of the holdings. So go ahead and open up the front end, and then you want to go to the side. To go to the side here, I'm just sticking 1 or 2 millimeters. I'm just going to help it out. Go to the back corner. And in the back end, here we're going to do it slowly. I'm just helping it out. And it will, by itself, it will open. I'll just put it down. I'm going to grab it from here, up and down a little bit. Move your fingers in here. And bring it up, and it will come out pretty easy. So there's your bottom cover. All right, down here we can see 1 battery, 2 fans, and the SSD right over here, and the RAM is right under this shield right in here. For this video, I'm gonna remove this tape so it has an adhesive so you guys can see the RAMs, but you can just fold it back. So down here we can see there's 2 RAM DIMMs available. So if your task manager will tell you that there's a 4 DIMM, is not true because there's a miscommunication between the Windows and the motherboard. So there's only 2 RAM DIMMs available. Now, to remove the RAM, you do not need to disconnect the battery. It's absolutely not necessary to disconnect the battery, because if you do, the BIOS will reset to default. If you have any configuration in there, it will just reset to default. Not a big deal. So it will take about, what, 10, 15 seconds extra before it boots, and it will give you a text saying the CMOS was reset to default. Press enter, continue. If you disconnect the battery, that's not a big deal. But if you do want to disconnect it, what you want to do, let me find my spatula right here. You want to remove this tape in here. There's a tiny tape. I don't know why there's a tape over here. What you want to do, you want to pull this jack, put your fingers at the side of this white jack, and bring it towards the battery. Working around a little bit, it's kind of a little tough, and bring it back. And that's how you can disconnect this one. You do not need to disconnect unscrew the screws in here, as long as you pull it back. Put it back in, simply put it inside the jack, make sure it's straight inward. Don't put it sideways, put it straight in there. All right, to disconnect the RAM and stuff like that, all you need to do, you want to pull these two triggers on the side away from each other, and the RAM will pop out in 45-degree angle. And what you want to do in 45-degree angle, you want to grab it and you want to slide it out in 45-degree angle. These are a DDR5, so you can grab a 16 gig DDR5 and a 16 gig, and you will have a 32 gig RAM. You just have to make sure the notch on the RAM right in here, this notch matches the notch right in here. So if I put it the other way around, it will simply, they don't match, so it will not, no matter how much I try, it will not go through. So I just have to bring it in 45-degree, inside the connector all the way in 45-degree, and then you want to bring it towards the motherboard and watch these triggers. They're going to open and close softly. And that's how you know the RAM is. You don't have to use extra force. And the same thing with the new RAM. If you got the new RAM, you want, it doesn't matter the RAM orientation, chip orientation, they can be on the bottom, on the top. Instead, in here, it's going to be on the bottom. You bring it in 45-degree angle inside the connector, and then you want to push it towards the motherboard, and then makes a nice soft clicks. To remove it, pull them away. RAM will come out in 45, slide them out. Put it again, and there we go. So let's say if you put another 8 gig in the second slot or another 16 gig, and after you power it on, after what, I would say 30, 40 seconds, you still don't get anything on the screen, you want to power it down and switch the RAM, place it, and power it on again. Once you're done with upgrading your RAM, what you want to do, you want to put this power on top, but you don't have to, you can just peel it like that. You don't have to actually peel it off as an adhesive. Plug in the battery if you have removed it. Grab the bottom cover, bring it over straight, and you want to push it down, and you want to push the back side. Make sure you do nice click sounds. You want to pinch the front end. If you see any gaps opening, just pinch them together, and it will go to its place. And to finish it off is to put the bottom cover on. I'm going to power it on so you guys can see it does power on with no problem. I've been doing this for a long time, so don't worry about it. If you feel like you're going to drop a screw on the motherboard with a battery connector, or you're going to drop your screwdriver, then sure, go ahead and disconnect the battery. But if you're careful enough, you do not need to disconnect the battery. It all depends to your likings. As long as you power off, there's no voltage, anything going to the RAM. So because I disconnected the battery very few seconds, so it might not even, it might boot right away, or it might take a little longer. So let's go ahead and see. I powered it on. Let's see if I get a text saying go to the BIOS, or I might get a text saying that CMOS was reset to default. So I'm not going to fast forward this part so you guys can see. So it might give me 99% a CMOS was reset. So let's see, it could be a blue screen or black text on the top. Or black and white text. There we go. Firmware update, do not power on while updating because we disconnected the battery. So let's see, leave it going. All right, so it resets. I don't want to go to the Windows, I just want to go to the BIOS. So you see, I'm not fast forwarding and stuff like that. It does take some time once you disconnect the battery. So don't panic, be patient, just wait it out. The light is still on. The fans are spinning. I recommend you keep the charger plugged in. I don't have, let me see if I can get my charger here. So I don't know how much battery I have in the laptop, so I'll keep the charger plugged in. So let's see what's doing. It might take even, there you go. CMOS checksum invalid. CMOS will reset to default configuration. Press enter to continue. So you see, don't panic. Wait up to 1 minute, 2 minutes. Just press enter. And then it will go to the Windows. As always, I don't want to go to the Windows. I'll just tap on F10 and it will go to the BIOS. And there we have it. And again, I hope you guys liked this video and helped you guys out. If you have any question or requests, feel free to leave them in the video comment. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.